In 1971, a man boarded a commercial airliner. A few hours later, he had $200,000 in cash. Then, he jumped into the night. More than 50 years later, nobody knows where he went. This is the mystery of D.B. Cooper. November 24th, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving, a man walked into Portland International Airport. He was dressed in a dark suit, white shirt, black tie. Nothing seemed unusual. He purchased a one-way ticket. Destination, Seattle. The name on the ticket was Dan Cooper. At 2:50 p.m., he boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305. The flight was short, just 30 minutes. Soon after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant. At first, she ignored it. Then Cooper leaned closer. "You'd better look at that note." The message was simple. He claimed he had a bomb. The flight attendant sat beside him. Cooper opened his briefcase. Inside were wires and red cylinders. Whether it was a real bomb remains unknown, but she believed him, and so did everyone else. Cooper made his demands: $200,000, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. The message reached the cockpit, then the airline, then the FBI. The plane continued toward Seattle, while authorities rushed to respond. By the time Flight 305 landed, the money was waiting. So were the parachutes. Cooper had everything he asked for. But the most unbelievable part of the story hadn't happened yet. At 7:40 p.m., the aircraft took off again, this time heading south. Cooper gave specific instructions: fly low, fly slow, keep the landing gear partially deployed. The crew complied. Outside, conditions were terrible. Rain, wind, darkness. Below them stretched miles of forest. Few lights, few roads, few witnesses. At some point, Cooper strapped on a parachute. Then he moved toward the rear of the aircraft. The Boeing 727 had something unusual: a staircase built into the tail. It could be lowered during flight. Around 8 p.m., a warning light illuminated in the cockpit. The rear stairs had been activated. Minutes later, the crew felt a sudden movement. The aircraft briefly pitched upward, then stabilized. Nobody saw Cooper jump. Nobody watched him leave. But somewhere below, he was gone. When the aircraft landed in Reno, the cabin was empty. The money was gone. The parachute was gone. And so was D.B. Cooper. The response was massive. FBI agents flooded the region. Aircraft searched from above. Teams searched on the ground. Rivers, mountains, forests. Nothing. No body, no parachute, no money, no trace of Cooper. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Hundreds of suspects were investigated. Thousands of leads were examined. Years passed. Still nothing. Then, in 1980, something changed. A young boy was playing near the Columbia River. He discovered bundles of cash buried in the sand. The serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom money. It was the first physical evidence ever found. And it raised an even bigger question. If some of the money ended up there, what happened to the rest? Some believe Cooper survived. They point to the missing parachute, the missing money, and the complete lack of a body. Maybe Cooper landed safely. Maybe he escaped. Maybe he lived the rest of his life unnoticed. But there is a problem. The conditions were brutal. Night, rain, strong winds, rough terrain. Even experienced parachutists considered the jump dangerous. Others believe he died during the jump. Many investigators consider this the most likely explanation. Cooper may have underestimated the conditions. If he landed in remote wilderness, his remains may never have been found. But that theory leaves questions unanswered too, especially the money discovered years later. Another possibility is that Cooper was more prepared than anyone realized. Some believe he possessed specialized knowledge of aircraft, knowledge of parachutes, knowledge of the region. If true, perhaps the jump was never as impossible as it seemed. More than 50 years have passed. We know a man boarded Flight 305. We know he demanded money. We know he jumped into the night. And we know he was never seen again. Everything after that remains uncertain. Did he survive? Did he die? Did he escape with the money? Where did D.B. Cooper go? Next time on ArchiveX. In 1937, the world's most famous aviator vanished during a flight across the Pacific. No distress call, no wreckage, no confirmed answer. The mystery of Amelia Earhart. Coming next. This is ArchiveX. We follow the evidence, we challenge the theories, and we keep searching for answers. Until next time. The truth is still out there.